As we return to the courtroom, Snow's Fall Court, Dro, Yazan, and Margot were brought in chains, begun their interrogation by the lovely Guyard, who everybody loves to think about punching, and took your statements, started antagonizing and berating you significantly, ignoring basically everything that you were saying. And eventually, Margaret started to piece together that something was wrong. Like, his wasn't just like obstinate lawyering, that something felt a little bit off. And she eventually had Yasmin break her hand, let her slip off her cuff, let her deactivate her other new prosthetic, and fell off. And before she was entangled in a bunch of vines, in which you are currently restrained. You managed to cast Dispel Magic on Guyard, who you felt the restriction and then like the resistance and the pop of a charm fall off of him. And he looks up, confused, understands that you just cast a spell on you, and looks over past you and says, "You. Why? What do you gain from any of this?" And he's looking behind all of you, kind of like in this direction-ish. Do you guys do anything, or do you let him like continue?
I'm turning around.
And Margot just says, "See? He was under a spell, I told you."
Yeah, and at this point, like, pretty much everybody on the council is like stood up and like is like ready to go, like something's happening, and you have several guards who like come down, and similar to how Dro got tackled in the infirmary here. What the? That was weird. It showed me Yaslin's portrait.
The cards are Yaslin.
Okay, you've got. Suddenly, you have about most of the guards in the room. There's really only like 2 remaining way up at the front that are not coming down and like surrounding you.
Yeah, and she's got her arm and stump up.
And you with the right arm and like the thumb is like dangling awkwardly. Yeah. And you've got you've got like a couple of like swords and like a couple of daggers out. The dwarf has grabbed his like golden hammer and like slammed it down on the table in front of him. It starts to like glow like with some electricity, and like there's like spells being cast and like they're holding spells to see what's about to happen. And after
she's clearly not resisting, she's given up.
Yep, and even though like, well, I believe your right hand with its actually you can't move. You're still entangled, so you can't even put your hands up. You're just like still stuck. But you're clearly not trying to break out of the spell. Yaslin, Dro, what are you doing as this is happening? You've got about 10 seconds worth before the guards like dogpile all of you, or like come up and like do the like blade at the throat thing.
Well, Dro's back was to all of this. But I'm guessing can piece together that the 2 ladies didn't listen to his advice of not making a scene. Going to just throw his hands up. But I'm I want to see where Bloodthorn's looking.
You can either look behind you and at like where Guyard is eyeing, or you can look at where Bloodthorn is eyeing. Your choice.
I want to look where Bloodthorn is looking.
Okay. Give me a. I'll spoil it down and say, give me an insight check here. An 11. It's good enough to know that she's looking in a vaguely similar direction, at least to where Guyard's at. Like, she's not looking at you, she's looking behind.
Just gonna put my hands up and slowly turn and look that direction.
As you do, like, there's. Give me a perception check at disadvantage because there's like a bunch of like guards like all in your face. By the time you clock her and start turning around.
17.
Jeez, that one wanted to be all the numbers. 17, you managed to do it, and you do catch like some of the faces in between the gaps as they're moving around, and you can clock what's going on behind. Yaslin, you?
I think Yaslin is still kind of freaked out that Margot's gone into her head. And so in this moment, it is more of a defense mechanism to her to try to get her out of her head. And so she's not fully paying attention to whatever is happening around her.
Gotcha. Do you say anything to Margot telepathically?
I think she says, like, get out of my head.
And I think at this point, like Yaslin, they just saw you like reach over and like attack your friend. And so like you specifically are like pushed down onto the table, scattering like the little refreshments tray that they provided for you guys, and like you're like pinned like flat on the table. Rose the only one that's like not being physically restrained.
Yeah.
And like just on the table, get out.
Get out.
Yeah, Margot would immediately sever the connection. She just needed that one moment.
Yeah, easy to do.
I think Yaslin relaxes, even though she's like pinned to the table. She seems a lot less tense now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there's a lot of like shouting and yelling things going on. The calm courtroom where everybody was sitting has just exploded into pure chaos. People are shouting, people are yelling. There's some people who are looking scared. Like the sister of Freya is like stands up and like backs up and is like starting to scoot around, like look and like be near like the family bodyguards that like are a little bit behind and things like that. And all the council is like yelling and shouting at each other. The guards are like trying to listen to them, like figure out exactly who to listen to. And through all the noise and like the madness that just happens, you hear the gavel, a wooden gavel made out of like, and as she like swings it down, there's a little bit of like a trail behind it of like reds and purples and blues, and like the wood has rings in it of different colors. When it comes down, it hits the whatever the puck is called for scene, that goes along with the gavel, and she hits it and just goes. There's like the room is instantly silenced. Even though people are still yelling, things are still going on. It's like the room has the silence spell cast on it for about a second and a half. Absolutely nothing momentarily. and it fades, and by the time it fades, Bloodthorn yells out to the entire room. And Seraphine is one of the only ones that still has a like perfectly calm face on. And like Swiftwind and Bloodthorn both had to calm a room before. This is a practiced maneuver. Seems like, everyone sit down. We are still in proceedings, and the accused will explain themselves immediately.
I told you he was charmed. You wouldn't believe me. So I took care of matters myself.
And she looks over at Rock. I thought there was a spell that was dismantled. He was being manipulated. And everybody like kind of pauses. And 1 minute.
In that time when Dro looked back at the group and everyone's screaming and yelling, was there anyone that didn't react?
Give me an insight check. And this is going off your 17 of perception.
Okay.
Ooh, that's almost a natural one.
I know.
19. You look back and you see several people back there, and you don't see anybody who. Let me see again. Okay. Based on your previous roll, you are able to see this guy, Petrie, and Big Swole, and even Keon, which you don't actually know his name.
Right.
You see this dude who I think you saw Seamus talking to this guy at some point. And then you see like 2 of these people, and the other people, so like Big Boy over here, the elder man, the guy in the back that you identified as Galax, Theo, the weird merchant, and the dark tiefling. Oops, you don't have vision on any of them. The ones that you do see all seem to react. The Asian dude, like, he still has a very, very like calm, know nothing face on. Like just purely calm and chill. Petrie actually like runs up Big Swole's arm, and he actually like has a couple of potions at the ready as he's like kind of like looking around. Galax just begins like writing down some notes, and is like he's still like kicked back in his chair. And then the other one, you don't see him, but you assume that he's moved because his chair is like toppled over. And you were looking kind of like in the back portion of the room, like a cone, so you don't really have good vision on like what's on to the immediate north, immediate south, or what's going on with the council.
Okay.
Okay, and so Warden, they came in. Margot got her hand broken. She doffed her cuffs. She dispelled the magic. She got entangled. Dro got like sword pointed, and Yasmin got tackled to the table because she just broke her ally's hand. It was a magic gavel that silenced the room, calmed everybody's down. Y'all are like, the guards are like at the ready, like ready to strike you on command, and the room is just kind of calmed back down as everybody like shuffled and moved a bit. Guards come to surround you for the feels like umpteenth time in the last couple of days. How does Warden react?
Honestly, at this point, with how sober Warden is, I think he is very, very calm. He's just like, everyone's all around him acting and, getting their hands broken and whatnot. Just a typical Tuesday. And he's just kind of sitting there like, I mean, what are they going to do? Like, there are worse things that could happen. And guards running in and stopping everybody, then, Warren's calm. He's presented the information that he needs to. He's not too stressed about anything.
Sounds good. Okay. Commander Bloodthorn. Looks over and Guyard is like, he like makes his accusation, says you, and then like kind of falls back over, like a little delirious, like begins over to like grabs onto the railing and like starts holding himself back up, still very dizzy. Guyard, explain yourself now. And he looks back and says, Commander Bloodthorn, my sincerest apologies. I should know better. I should know how to detect and be able to tell if I'm being manipulated. I'm sorry, I failed this time.
While this is going on, I'm looking for anybody casting spells on him.
You can't.
Yes.
Well, your vision is severely obstructed. Your entire body is like, you've got approximate vision. Oh, that's the wrong button. You've got approximate vision like this, and that's about it.
I can't turn my head at all.
Not really. You are like heavy entangled. So like, she cast her spell with the intention of like essentially like paralyzing you in that direction. You can try to like fight it, but we were talking about like a very high level druid basically told you to stop. And
okay, well, true sight, and I'm just keeping my eyes out for a spell to be cast as I'm looking around with my eyes for any magic that's going towards him.
Okay.
I'm just gonna do this whole throughout the trial, so this is just a passive thing that I'm doing.
Yep. So Stormbrighter has like some like very smooth and like willowy looking dagger out. And is just like has it like tipped down on the table. He's one of the few that's like still sitting. Thornvale is like running concentration on her entangle spell, but she also has something else like prepared. Swiftwind and Bloodthorn. Swiftwind is sitting and like she like did her gavel move and like just chilling there, while Bloodthorn like stood up and like shouted at the room. And that's about what you can see at the moment. Like they're not.
Yeah, the intention is to be able to cast a counter spell if anybody tries to attack Guyard.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Cool. Yep.
No, I want to punch him.
Can I see what Randar's done?
You can turn your head to look because you are not restricted.
Yeah. Let's see what he's doing.
Okay. At this point, like Randar, like this is finally like the moment where like he's lost his cool and like whatever is going on, like he is not okay to it. And you see Randar like, why can I not? Oh, I'm on the wrong thing. That's why I'm not selecting things properly. Randar like gets over here and like you see him like huffing and puffing, like red in the face, like old like Scottish man like rage that like their veins are popping, their nose is red, like all of it. Like he comes over and like easily jumps over the side and grabs Guyard and seems, Randall, behave yourself. And not now. He comes up and he grabs Guyard, like, spit it out, boy. You best tell what's going on. No. And he looks over. He says, he's going. I don't see you. I'm sorry. Who? And he looks back, and Warden, give me a perception check. If you want to see like who's in the back of the room that's missing.
And Warden.
What's the point of having a
Oh,
+7?
funny.
That's annoying.
Or your vision is pretty heavily obscured via guards, and there's like a shiny halberd like taking up like most of like your right side periphery. So you don't got it, and everybody like starts looking around. Anything that you guys want to do upon like hearing those words?
Charles gonna look at Randar, just to get him to stop.
So he
He
said
says-
he's gone, or whoever did that was gone.
Yeah, he says he's gone. The short, cheap. He sells the thermal cubes.
I want
Ah, that little fucker.
Fucker.
Okay.
And Randar looks back and says, "His name. I don't know." Bloodthorn pipes in and says, "Theo the merchant." And she looks very confused. She looks back and begins to try to find him. Oh, well, this is a failure on how I created her character.
Oh no.
I didn't give the captain of watch any perception. She got a lot of other things, but apparently I failed on perception.
That sounds about right. They did just stand by and watch as the entire area burned down, and then said, "Okay, now we're gonna go arrest him."
I mean, with that being said, I think I would spin around, because that would have thrown me off.
Yeah.
Can I roll perception?
Yeah, see if you can like adjust yourself to like try to track where he is. And you can't see everybody anyways, but
21.
21, that's pretty good. A second. There we go. You do shit, what did I roll? 21. You just see him.
Jeez.
Bro rolled a dirty 20 on his stealth. And you see him actually you don't even see him. You see like somebody else, but that you haven't seen in a courtroom up until now. The 21 is just so good enough that you read essentially the body language, and there's like an older woman with like a stern like perma glare face and like heavy wrinkles, and you see her walk over here and just like turn at you, and like the glare doesn't change in the slightest, but her mouth does.
Dro's immediately just turning and in the corner, like pointing his hands that way.
And the woman jumps up about the 10-15 feet up onto like in between a couple of braziers. And so Dro, you call out at that point,
Yeah.
and everybody like in the courtroom turns and looks, and you see him like return to Theo. Alright. There's like golden teeth on his left side. I don't know what you're talking about. I never put a spell on anyone. I can't even cast magic. And you see him like turn his head. And with a 21, you can hear him say, "It's time." And he just stays there. I'm an honest merchant, just trying to make a living in the big, expensive city.
Zero's gonna spin and look at Commander. Commander?
She looks down at you. Give me perception here. Or not perception, insight. On the commander.
20.
14. Okay.
I'm still restrained, right?
Mm-hmm.
You are still restrained.
God damn it.
Okay. You look at her and like you see her like she still looks like she's in control. And she is still very stoic and calm. And there's an intensity to how she's looking at you, which you haven't seen from her at all at any point. And everybody like essentially like turns to like look up at him and says, "What I do I do have something to say." She yells at him. "Explain yourself! Why would you charm Guyard?" It's like, I was just trying to allow for some time to unfold. The doors on the back of the courtroom slam open, burst from gouts of fire and splinters, and like there's a spray of metal and stone and wood chunks that just chunks out into the courtroom. The two guards standing up here, they are immediately like buried in the rubble and like knocked away, and you are not sure if they are functional or not, but just after a moment or two, like everybody looks over there. The attention is no longer on any of you. And roll a concentration check for the entangle. Ooh, that's bad. She loses her concentration just from that. I rolled a natural 4. So the vines just kind of like become etherealized and like pop away, and like they kind of like become a little bit like this green dust trying to hold them together. And by the time the gust of door explosion reaches you, it just kind of blows it all, and like everybody like ducks down. And by the time they look up, you guys don't see much of anything. You see swirls of dust and clouds and thickness.
Would I be able to, with this rubble that is now around, would I be able to bend down and pick up, like, pebbles and small pieces of stones?
Yes. And in this moment, before then, everybody give me a dexterity saving throw to avoid debris.
How about me? Because the entangled's falling at this time. Am I still entangled during this time?
I would say you are still entangled, which means
A disadvantage.
what is it?
What
It's not.
Well, I don't
I'm
know if
trying
we're
to
restrained.
read
Is
it
it
from a
auto
different spot.
fail?
Restrained. Disadvantage on dexterity saving throws.
Okay.
Ooh.
Is Yaslin still being pinned to the table?
No, you are like a wow. It really wanted you to fail.
We're having rough rolls this session.
Great. This is the time that I actually get to kill all of you because your dice hate you. Woohoo! And Yaslin.
Oh my god!
Guys.
Guys!
I mean that kind of makes sense. I think like Warden's like still sitting on the couch, so like dodging from a sitting position. Yaslin was just pinned to a table. Margot was just entangled. Dro's the only one who's like standing and is able to
Paying
use his
attention
feet.
to it too.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I'm gonna give you guys got a 5, a 6, and a 7. So I'm gonna give you all the same damage range.
Gosh.
Is it
You guys all take-
possible, since Margot's next to me, if I can use deflect missiles of little pieces?
I'm gonna say
Reduce my
I'm gonna
damage.
say no here.
Okay.
Because this is not a rifle bullet, this is a shotgun.
That's fair.
And you guys, so the three of you all take 7 points of bludgeoning and piercing damage as everything just like hits you, and like you've got like a rock like scrapes across like Yaslin's cheek, and like a 3-inch long splinter embeds itself in one of Warden's shoulders, and there's a chunk of like decorative metal that fling, 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 and like slices Margot's hip and like embeds itself into the table right next to them. You guys all take a little bit of damage. Well, you are able to like not direct any towards your friends, but you're able to like get away from yourself, like basically like popping it all up so that it like flies in this direction instead. And everybody in the room is damaged to
So I have a question.
greater or lesser degree.
I have my true sight up. Can I
Yes.
see through the swirling debris?
Give me a perception check.
Perception. It's almost bad.
You see it before everything else does. Part of what True Sight does is it allows you to see into the ethereal plane. There are little creatures and critters that only exist in the ethereal plane. So you're very used to seeing like a little jellyfish that will occasionally like split off into 2, split off into 4, and then come back into 2, and then just kind of like multiply and like recombine. Or there's like an eel that will like slither around and tie itself into a knot and then like pull straight, and instead of like being cutting and tangled, it teleports slightly into a different location and does it again. And when it teleports, and then when it ties itself into a knot again, it moves into a different spot. Or like little things of ethereal leaves that eventually settle on something and like turn into a flame. And then the flame like moves and then turns back into a leaf and then flies. You see like weird things all the time. As you look back, you see the force of what's going on in this plane has like blown them all back towards the back of the room. Like it's like just like a gust of wind happening. They all like kind of like sense them behind you, get a little look from behind, and it's they're all swarming and like trying to like reorganize themselves and figure out like, what happened. Oh, did I delete your perception check by accident?
I did on accident. I don't
okay.
know what I was doing.
It's like, did I touch it?
It was a 19.
It was a 19, that's right. And like through that, and then you see with your true sight a few seconds before you see with anything else, you see the glow of red and orange, yellow, like an entourage of large flaming pots or something.
Can I just yell fire to the room?
You can. As all of you see what comes in.
Oh my god, that's fucking skulls again. God damn it.
Not falling off a fucking cliff this time to kick it. No.
To be fair, we have like basically everyone in this room is level 20, so I'm
Unless they run.
well, if they run, then they're, that's on them. Like, don't be level 20 then.
Yep, so you see these large bronze-looking humanoid, like hollowed out statues, just cling, cling. You see, like they almost have like two strong hooves instead of toes. Like step on a piece of rubble and just crush it underneath. There's flames in the middle. Some of them look like these holes in the center look like a giant smile, or like a jack-o'-lantern with some teeth. They all have different visages. Like each one is carved and molded into a different shape, but you still see 6 of these behemoths. You also see like above them, like kind of like a swarm of like bluish fiery skulls, like moving about, and the skulls immediately like flit out to the sides and start to like roil themselves like up the tapestries to begin to burn them. And one of the things comes over, like reaches through the dirt and the rubble and grabs a guard, like yanks him out. He's like dangling and like one of his like shoulders is out, so he's like one of his arms limply like sways looser than the other one, and shoves him into the belly. And you hear a scream from him as that happens. And it's gone. No, and you can see him like thrashing around inside of like the belly of this thing. And it looks like a fire scene in a horror movie put on mute. And
Evan. Yes, son.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Okay,
We don't
so
have
you
any
yell,
of our gear either, right?
no, you don't. You yell fire. Yeah, Margot, you yell out fire, and like all the guards, like the attention begins to move as like this is all happening. And like Margot, you can see this in clearer detail. Everybody else, it's like Margot, you see the energies happening here, not so much the things, but everybody sees the glow of like what's beginning to happen, and they all like kind of eventually like stalk, and like a few of them start to head down the stairs before you guys really get like a decent look at what is happening. And you hear Theo. Yeah, everybody say hello to my friends.
What the fuck?
And
Come
You
on,
see-
man!
and you see the gold on Theo's teeth. I think I said it was on the side. It begins to like drip and like land onto his bottom lip and spread throughout his body. And like he stops being this like 5'5" stumpy-ish man and begins to grow into like a much more elongated shape. His limbs grow about an extra 50% longer. His back straightens and becomes broad and long. And you see his his balding, and then like the ring around his baldness begins to like curl up and like lean back into horns instead. You begin to see glinting, bright and gold and powerful light like shimmering off of him as he drops a come on now. I can remember how to do keyboard shortcuts. And Theo disappears as you see a long, molten gold looking bowl person. I need all of these rolling sheets.
Bruh, we don't even have our gear. My hands are
I know.
tied. What the fuck?
I know, I was looking, I was like,
What
I
the
don't.
fuck is
My
this?
AC is so low right now.
That's okay. I have pebbles, and I can make them magical.
I have pebbles. We're saved. Dolphin has Dolphin.
Warden
has pebbles. There is no combat. It wouldn't let me roll initiative.
That's because I was a little slow before I asked you.
Fuck me. You know what? I'm going to use my inspiration on that, because I'm not dealing with a nat 1. This has been a horrible night.
There we go. That's what we were waiting
The
for.
Toffets rolled really bad though.
Did it roll? Oh, it's just keeping my initiative as 1.
What's the new roll? It's like
The new roll's not showing up on my end, but I can go ahead and do.
Here, let me undo it. So do it again, Ward. And Yaz, what'd you get?
Where did I just put my word?
A 7.
7.
Jasmine's like, I don't want to be.
Okay, better than a nat 1.
Okay, I'm going to redo this and say that this dude is the one that got the natural one. He's the one that like reached down and like picked up the guy in the rubble. And so like essentially we're gonna say he's already like taken his turn. Okay, 11. That's better. All right. I have new music that I'm excited to use. All right. All right. Everybody in the room like shifts, and there is an understanding that like the room is under attack. And we're going to start with the swarm of fire dancers, and they are just going to go up. And let me see what's their movement speed. Yep, they're just going to go and like they touch this bottom part, and then they move over here, and they seem content to just be setting the room on fire. And as they do, like the flames start out a little bit red, and they begin to like lick upwards as blue flames instead. And who's here? Just changing something up. Okay, that's going to be his turn as he goes that way. Next up is Margot.
Jesus Christ. All right. Would it be? I wouldn't be able to just move this way, right? Because there's tables and like banisters in the way.
Yeah, that's correct. I mean, you can like climb over them, but it will reduce your speed.
Yeah, I think it's what 15, and then. But by how much? How far could I get?
It'll reduce your speed by half for everything that you're climbing over.
Okay, so it wouldn't make a difference if I went. Can I go this way around? Are the guards gonna block me?
The guards are not paying attention to you.
Okay, so I can move through their space though, because they're like kind of allies.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I end up in the same place regardless. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna move up to these steps, and then I'm going to cast. Come on. Transmuted spell. Fireball. I'm gonna do lightning because they look like they're made out of a lot of metal.
Okay.
And metal seems conductive. I don't know. I'm
right.
going to actually target. Temperate. I think that gets all of them. Yep. It probably, I don't know if it will automatically mess up the damage, because I'm assuming they're immune to fire.
Okay.
But I'm
As-
making it lightning damage.
Okay.
Wow.
Shit, damn, they all failed. But as like it's going, no, you know what? I'll leave it actually. The giant ball of lightning launches out and they all like spasm and twitch a little bit. You see some of their arms like jink around. You feel 6 set of eyes walk in on Margot.
Did they take any damage? Because it still says unharmed.
Oh. Interesting.
Because it's fire damage, it doesn't let me change it.
yeah,
So I'm
yeah.
assuming that means they're immune to fire, but they just need to take 33 points of damage then.
There we go.
And since I know how these things go and I'm already fucked, let's quicken spell and do it again. I mean, I already poked the bear, so let's keep stabbing. It's probably gonna do the same thing. It won't take their damage the first time.
Yeah, go ahead.
Only one of them passed.
Okay, so which one? Second to last guy.
Another 35. And I am now out of sorcery points because I gave my other 5 sorcery points to Ward Dro. Don't forget you have those 5d8s to reduce your damage. But I have no more sorcery
Ooh.
points.
Okay, good call. Okay, so that was Margot. Dro, you are up.
Give me my gear.
Did you say that?
Yes. Dro's literally turning to the council. Give me my sword.
Can I call that a free object interaction? Grabbed my prosthetic arm and then been putting it on while I get to my new spot? Or no? That's fine if you say no.
No.
Okay.
None of what you just did is applicable. You can't do fireball because it requires your left hand.
Well, I have Warcaster, so I don't need any somatic components.
That is fair. I'm thinking about how to
Because
rule
I
this,
was
but
able to cast spells when I had my hand cut off too. Like that, I was able to cast those spells then.
Okay, that is fair. Interesting. Because when we decided that Margot would have the tree and everything, we said like the spells are cast from her right hand or from her warlock class, and the left hand is from her sorcerer class. Okay. I'll consider that that's just flavor.
Yeah, I thought it was more of a
Unless-
flavor because really, like, the seedling's in her heart, so.
Yeah.
And her
I'll
tattoo's
say,
on
like,
her upper arm, not in her hand. Like,
yeah, I'll say if your right arm is ever paralyzed or severed, like at the like if you
yeah,
ever
because I assume,
get
like, I could
paralyzed or
see the
something.
sorcerer part, like, her or warlock magic comes from the corrupted parts of her body, but the sorcerer is in her blood. Sorcery is an inherited magic, so.
Okay, I like that. That like if your right arm, which is the one that like you have the heart, and its control is over your right arm, and that's like the channel. If that goes out, I would say you can't cast your warlock spells. But the
Yeah, I
rest
could
of
see
you
that.
has always been naturally predisposed to. Okay, cool. I like that. So cool. All of that was totally fine. Dro, you turn to the council and say, give me my gear. And Bloodthorn's already like, as you turn around, she's already throwing a bag at you. So
That changes it.
And so I'm going to use your action and her action together to like, she throws you the bag of holding, a bag of holding, and like you open it up, and like you can like get your gear out, but that is a full. It's not just an item interaction. Like this is like an action to don yourself with everything that you want.
The cuffs
Well,
are still on though, aren't they?
They are
Still enchanted, or did that drop?
still enchanted.
I should have disenchanted your cuffs. I'm sorry, I didn't even think about
No,
that.
you're fine. I forgot about it.
More damage means more likely they die, and more death means less people on battlefield, which means easier to kill.
What?
Eliminate the threat before you help your
Um,
allies. That is a solid tactic.
Yeah, if playing XCOM and Fire Emblem have taught me anything.
So Jero's gonna get all his gear out and then look down and just hold his hands up. Can I get these off? And he's just going to roll across the table and back up a little bit.
Okay, gotcha.
Actually, ah, fuck that. He's going next to Randar.
Okay. Okay, so Dro is over there. He rolls away. Commander Bloodthorn, she threw you the bag, and for her movement, she's going to jump down, and she's going to shout out. And so, just so you guys know, the way that I'm going to run this is essentially, I'm dividing this up into sections. So this section over here, I'll call this turquoise. You guys get your own thing. Red. This will be green. I'm not going to run through the combat for each section individually. We'll do a couple of rollies, and then like I'll kind of like adjust things as they fall out from that. This is black. And we'll do this as yellow. Purple and I'm gonna kind of ignore all the guards that are near you guys as well, and like they'll be doing their own stuff on the outskirts. And orange. Okay, taste the rainbow in a courtroom. Okay. The commander jumps down and shouts out to everybody. It's like, attack the enemy! Defend the civilians at all cost! And like she pulls out. You see like a flame show up in her hand, and it burns like a deep blood red looking color. And you also see her like flick her arm down, and from inside of her her sleeve, like something like falls out, and she whips it, and it becomes this long, like it like drapes over like a long ass ways, like maybe 15-20 feet, a whip that like falls on the ground and just is like twitching on its own. And that's going to be her turn. Next up, you have what was Theo. And he's going to look at everybody. It's been a sincere pleasure doing, and like his voice like starts a little bit high and begins to lower as his like transformation continues. It's been a sincere pleasure working with you all. He snaps his fingers, and you see about 60% of the people in the room. They're like nobody on the council, but many of the merchants, most of the guards, and like a few of the other onlookers. They like all kind of like clutch at their chest or their shoulder or their wrist. Yaslin, you feel the pulse of like dark energy in your chest as you like there's like this thunk inside of you. And you like step back and you look up at him, and like anything that you see him, and like instead of seeing like his like this ghostly form, you see bright ripples and whatnot. It is hard to see what he's doing. And even though you're not wearing it, actually, give me an Arcana check.
Oh, of course. Yaslin, here we go. I've been
That
poisoned.
could have been decent. That could have been decent, but unfortunately, you don't know what's going on. Like it hurts. Like you don't take any damage, but like something is funky.
Something's wrong.
Yeah.
Do I see what's going on? Can I see with my true sight what's happening to the people around us?
I'll give you an Arcana check too. Yeah.
I think I know what it is. Out of character.
Ooh, 23.
Nice. Yeah, you like look out into this, and just like the vibe, the feel of it, this like it looks like a sick golden strand is like connected between him and everybody else that I mentioned. And it feels like it's dripping like almost like blackened gold, and it feels nasty. The magic feels disgusting and like vile. Curse magic.
What's that?
Okay. All right. He's going to he's gonna look out and oh, actually, I already know. Nope, never mind, never mind. He's just gonna like you see him like grab that like he kind of drops his hands down, like some of the coins on his flesh like melts down and become this like molten golden orb, and he's gonna like fling it out, and he's going to target Tro. I'm having a panic moment. 1 second.
You're having a panic moment?
I'm having a panic moment because I forgot to do a thing. Okay. Oh, I know what I'm doing now. Oh, come on. Gonna start with a 3 for tonight. Nobody gets to roll high today.
Oh
The second
my
one's a
God,
2.
what the-
Oh! There we go. Okay, 28. Does that hit?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right. All right, Dro, he's gonna launch this golden orb. 3 of them streaming across the room. The first one you're able to duck and it hits the banister and kind of scissors behind you. The second one you have to like jump up the stairs, and then the third one it's like he positioned you the way you wanted you to be. Third one smacks you in the arm for 16 points of fire damage, reduced down to 8 because of your bond with your sword. Even though you don't have it in your possession, we're still attuned to it, you still get your resistance to fire. And you feel that those molten coins become a little bit stiff. Yeah, that'll be the end of his turn. Randar's gonna like look at you. Are you okay, boy?
I've been hit harder by you.
Yeah, you're welcome for the lessons. And he's going to like dart off and like go straight for them. And you see him do like 80 feet in that direction. And that's going to be his. That's going to be his dash as he gets right over there. And you see him like go into like a bonus action. Well, actually, he's going to use his bonus action to do a dash, so he like blitzes all the way up there. You see him get it, like one of the Toffets is gonna like move up and try to hit him with a slam attack. This is gonna be at advantage because he's in the middle of the group. That's gonna be 28 to hit. Did I crit?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I crit.
Mhm.
Shit. So he gets up there
Out
and
of range for me to do anything about it.
this thing moves faster than Randar anticipated. It comes up and like one of them like turns around and like kind of stops his movement a little bit in his chest, right as like the other one like comes and smacks him in the back. So there's gonna be critical damage. Damn. It's gonna be 42 points of damage, and Randar is grappled in the process, like held up in his hand. And then he's going to use he's going to try to shove him in his burning belly. on the second one. So this is going to be a second attack. This is going to be an add advantage. The dice want Randar to die. I did not expect him to get his ass kicked that badly. So that's going to be. So he grabs him and he is shoved. You hear in silence again. He's like shoved into the oven of his belly. And so he is now restrained. He has 3/4 cover. And he's going to take fire damage at the beginning of his turn. Next time. While he's in there, Randar, he's going to react to this guy at the end of his turn, and he's going to pop his resistance aura and pop fire. So from now on, he has fire resistance, and anything within 10 feet of him has fire resistance. And the dice wanted to kick his ass, so whoops. I forgot which thing I did for you last time, but I'll leave it at that. Okay. Next up is Big Swole. He is going to you see him starting to hand out a couple of potions to heal up some of the wounded around him. And in general, the group over there starts trying to defend themselves. And you see Fry pops a magic scroll that gives her mage armor, and she does some other stuff. And everybody in general, Petrie is hiding like hella hard. She looks like she's got a broken wing and it's hanging limply, and everybody else looks like they're about ready to. They're defending. They're waiting for the enemy to come towards them. Okay. Next up, this guy's gonna waltz over and attack this dude. Oh, it's because I have Randar. Not Randar, this guy. Okay, yep, that guy's damaged. And he's pretty hurt, and he is going to get a second slam onto him at advantage as he's grappled. Oh, surprising. This guy's grappled, but he's able to, as the Tophet tries to shove him into his stomach area, he manages to draw his sword and kind of put it in front of him and brace himself, and he doesn't go in. The Tophet's going to turn around and just march the remainder of its movement speed with this dude in tow, and go towards all the merchants. Very similar thing. The fire dancers are going to just go and happy burn stuff. Warden, you are up.
So, what does the surrounding area outside of this building look like?
So you are in what is called the Golden Heights district. So you've got the ring of mountains that is Aurora's Rest. Over here on the side, that's where the Grand Athenium with all the wizard towers is. Down here, that's the bridge leading to the town of High Rodent across the lake. And then you have the market district where you guys spend time in. You have the old town, Grand Athenium is there, and then you have the tavern quarter and entertainment district, which Warden has been to, but none of the other people have. and then you have Festival Plaza, and that's kind of like the main bottom section, and then you start getting into like the uppity up areas. The Golden Heights district sits above Festival Plaza. That's the only way you can get into the Golden Heights district is going through the Festival Plaza. And then on top of that, which you guys have been able to gather just by the people talking and whatnot, that is the sponsor district. That is where the most powerful people in the city live in entertainment. And you guys are in the section right below that. So outside, you're on top of like basically a courthouse on top of not a huge mountain, but maybe like a 200-foot mountain. There's a bridge across it. There's lots of open sky. It's meant to be like we're looking up at this thing that is like the sense of justice in the city. And then there's like there's other places around, but there are plenty of little mountains. Like there's lots of things that are on mountains like that. But there's also like lots of streets, canals, and whatnot. So it's a very like zigzag elevation, super uppity up section of the city. Not the most prestigious, but the second most prestigious in one of the most expensive cities in the entire world.
Is there ground beneath or around this building?
Not much. You have very little outside courtyard. Like we're only talking like 30 or 40 feet before it drops off into a sheer cliffside.
Okay. And are the windows around us made of stained glass, or do they have bars on them?
They do look like they are stained glass. They are very decorative, and there is metal woven in between them. Give me an investigation check real quick. They seem, especially right now, like the gust that blew in the doors, like kind of cracked the first. How many sets of windows are in here? The first set of windows, second, and then like a tiny bit of the third are all cracked and increasing levels of severity.
Very well. I'm going to do something that might take everyone by surprise. So far, you have seen that I am a ranger, but you don't know what type of ranger I am. It is time to reveal that. I am going to go ahead and take out a scrap of metal. I'm going to chuck it. Actually, I'm going to walk. I don't remember if you answered this. Am I able to walk, like, over this?
Yeah, that's a bench. So you're able to like
Okay.
stand up and just walk forward.
All right, so I'm going to walk over that, and then I'm going to do something interesting. I take out a piece of metal, and I chuck it towards the window. As it is flinging through the air, you see the metal just kind of like absorb metal chunks throughout the room, piecing it together, and the pieces that aren't fully fixed together instead become almost like a solid air look. And the thing that lands next to the window is a essentially metal and air drake.
You're fucking Drake Warden. What the?
Warden the Drake Warden.
Oh shit. I don't know if I ever made a token for this.
How did we
That was
not
pretty
connect
good.
the
That's
dots on
pretty
that?
sneaky. Yeah, I play a Drake Warden and I didn't even put that together.
He's even mentioned his kaiju. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, same. I was like, this guy. Okay.
Yeah, I got
Well
myself
played.
a little drake. I got myself a big airship. I can either ride on the ground running around on a little drake, or ride in the airship flying around. Pretty cool, pretty cool. It's not quite as tanky as Dolphin can be when he jumps in, but a drake can take a little bit of damage. So
Crap. I swear I made a thing for this, and now I'm
did.
not seeing it.
it is quite a while ago.
Yeah.
Let me go to our chat and see if I can't find it.
Okay. In the meantime, I'm going to give you a stone defender to play with. And we'll just...
Okay, I think that...
So
I believe this was it.
Okay, and it goes right after you, right?
Correct. So I've used my action to summon it. I will now use my bonus action to tell it, shatter the glass. Essentially, break the window, attack the window.
Okay.
And then, as I do that, I've moved 10 feet. I'm going to move... that puts me to... go right here. That'll put me to 25 feet moved. And I will turn to these people, the Drakewoods, and I will say... Well, those things are rather big, and there's a lot of fire. And fire tends to burn and kill things. I will be shattering that window, so that way those of us who are not as capable of fighting without guns will be able to escape. I implore you, if you wish to stay, you may, but if you would like to survive, jump through the window with me when I shatter it. And that is my action, bonus action, and okay, hold on, I'll do 30 feet. There we go. Yep, that is everything.
Okay, gotcha. Next up, is you see the folks over here. You've got several civilians. Many of them are like just running away in this direction. There's a few combatants. There's this giant, like, big ogre or orc ogre looking dude who gets up here and like stands on top of the table and like goes in, like, just does an incredible shout, and very clearly has a rage problem, and is challenging those things in front of him. Let's see. Hassport, Eve, Albiadala. Eve like spreads her hands out and casts Mass Cure Wounds. I'm making an assumption she has that spell. Or actually, we've got the player right here. What is he?
Street.
Yeah, what would Eve do?
She does not have Mass Cure Wounds. She has
Okay.
normal Cure Wounds.
Or Mass
Healing
Healing Word, I mean.
Does not have Mass Healing Word.
Got it. Okay.
Has Spirit Guardians, which can create a little circle of protection around them if anything comes close.
Sweet. She goes for that. Hassport, looks across the way at Warden. Excellent idea. He turns around. He's going to cast Thunder Wave, and like Thunder Wave. No, he's going to cast Shatter, and like crush a couple of these windows. Everybody out, please. You'll be safe. And he's waiting for everybody to go, and he's like gathering everybody else that wants to flee up here. Okay. Next one. Okay, this guy. Ooh, goody. This guy is gonna go over here, and you see like the flame in his belly kind of disappears for a little bit, and these little circles along his body, like the 5 points, and then like on the back of his hands, and like even some on his knees. It's like the flames like seep into them, and they begin to glow, and like a torrent of like 5, 6, 7 small like burrows of flame go out. and it's like an improved version of a fire breath. Except it like explodes on the point of contact in like 10 feet. Does about right there, and it like all like these little torrents of fire like puff out, and then they seem to like disappear and then explode up from the ground. And you see everybody over here like begins to cast magic or dodge, and like there's like fire in burning, and this section over here in like the black zone, these guys start to do battle as well as the ogre guy like runs towards this fiery statue thing. Yaslin, you are up.
Wonderful. First order of business, I suppose. She doesn't know her. She doesn't have her weapon. But she's going to see if she can activate her rage normally, like she did in the prison.
Okay. Roll your.
Oh.
Just give me a strength check.
Okay.
Strength or Constitution? I'll say your call. Like, how do you want to approach this?
I think it's very similar. She's like digging deep into herself to like knowing she can't rely right now on what she's always relied on, to rely on herself once more.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I'll do con.
Okay, sounds good.
So that's a nat 1. Yaslin's a very tired girl right now.
The comedy version of this show would be like,
no, it's not there. Don't got it.
Yep. You kind of have like a reaction to all the physical trauma that you've been through and like your exhaustion levels. Like you try to like bring it up, and like instead you like end up in a coughing fit, and it does not work the way that you are meant to. And for a natural 1, I'll say like you don't get any movement speed for this round.
Nah, it's okay. I'll just sit here and see if I can break my handcuff.
Okay, that'll be your next turn. Oh, so that was your bonus action.
That was my bonus action.
Okay. Oh, come on, you jerk. I changed that icon. Okay. Go ahead and roll an athletics check to see if you can destroy it.
We are running on the lowest of fumes right now, guys.
Yaslin just okay.
Oh my god, can we not? I'm tired.
Okay, yeah, no go there.
Yeah, so that's her turn. She also only has 20 feet of movement right now because she is in 2 levels of exhaustion.
Yes, but you are, because of the natural 1, I'm going to say your coughing fit prevents you from getting any movement this time. Okay, so the stats are way wrong, but we do have a visual as the little ball of metal like begins to gather air and fragments of metal is kind of like condenses down into the center, and then like it kind of folds out, and you see this. Warden, do you want to take the description, or would you like me to?
I can take the description.
Go for
it. I don't know when my internet started going weird. Did my previous description of it come across?
A little bit. But now that we have the image, wondered if you wanted to do it again or not.
Sure.
Good either way.
So basically what this is a drake that is a mixture of metal and wind, where very organically it'll change from just like a metal arm into what looks to be some form of solid wind. It has glowing white eyes that appear to just forever be in like the eye of a hurricane. Just always very calm right where the pupil is, but just swirls.
Lost him again.
We got like this great image of like his hand being a complete like blur ethereally. Okay. We will let him continue when he comes back. My turn. Okay. Oh, goody. He gets his ability back too. This guy, he's going to just going to use his
air.
There we go. Okay, we got you back.
Oh, did I go bye-bye?
Yeah, you went bye-bye.
Oh, I just explained it.
It was beautiful. Shakespeare would be proud.
We heard the eye and then you froze.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, what's the point of explaining? I said, okay. Basically, the main thing is, since I don't assume there's a lot of metal in this area, what most likely happened was the metal that was sucked up due to magnetism to help form what this dragon or drake looks like was, put into the body of the drake. But since there's probably not that much metal that was in this room, the rest of it is air. What is essentially hardened air that forms the rest of the body, and it changes based on the amount of metal that is around that it can suck up due to magnetism.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but the priority of like what gets covered with metal first is always the faceplate that covers the eyes.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
It's always the
Cannot see
head
its eyes.
and the core, and then everything else goes air. So like, you want to blast off its leg? Cool. Go ahead. Air. It come back.
Okay.
But yes, it is trying to break this window. I don't know if that came across.
Okay, gotcha. All right, next up is this chunky man. He's going to jump down, and as he does, let me see, what's the range here? Okay, he's going to try to use his girth to like jump onto Galax. And you see Galax kind of just like steps to the side and like casts like a sturdy shield. And there's some sparks that glide off as this thing's giant body just slides to the side. And then it looks down at him and looks up, and is going to use its Gout of Flame ability on a certain someone. Oh, is it going to make me drop a template or no?
Ooh.
Okay. Let's try this again. Delete that. Learning how to control my baddies. Is it gonna make her? There we go. There's the. Oh. Oh no.
She's muted and she's saying wait.
Wait, what? I don't have
Yeah.
I don't have any more sorcery points because they're all on Dro. I have
Okay.
nothing.
If it makes you feel any better,
Ain't no way
Um,
no one else has
this-
counterspell in this room.
It's not a spell
It's-
though. You couldn't counterspell it.
yeah, it's not a spell.
Silvery barbs?
Because I thought about that too. It's It was
Silvery
a saving
barbs
throw,
isn't
so
for
how?
making something better. It's only for making something worse.
Oh my gosh.
Guyard fails too because everything within 10 feet of Margot. Margot, you take pause on the game. There is I've historically said that if you get a natural 1 on a saving throw, it's considered critical damage. I've been thinking about this for a while. I think we are getting to the point where that becomes a little ridiculous, damage-wise. And instead, I'm going to add like a little bit of extra damage and like a negative effect, like I do on like a natural 1 if you're trying to do a dex save, or like a or when I'll do like a little bit of like extra sauce on the crit versus the the good crit versus the bad crit. But I'm not going to continue doing the double damage because we're in the point in the progression of like levels where both the monsters and you guys do too much damage for that to be viable. I'll say on spell levels of 3 and below, that can still happen for double damage. And above that, I'm just going to give it severe something. Oh my gosh. My phone is absolutely blowing up. I'm going to turn it to silent. Oh, holy shit. We're having a really heavy rainstorm, like one of the few lightning storms that we've had all year. And my girlfriend just sent me a bunch of pictures. She actually caught some of the lightning on camera, which is pretty cool. But now my phone is silent. Margot, you don't see it coming. You're busy trying to reattach your hand. And as you're kind of looking down at it, the floor beneath you begins to glow. You do not have time. And you are consumed. Guyard is... Let's see, that was 31 points of damage. This dude is not a combatant. This dude sits in a cush chair and talks shit on people for a living. He does not know how to fight. With that, he is straight up unconscious. Like, you see him like slump over, like burned, and just like sitting there. Like all of his robes are like smoldering, and like parts of them are like melted to his skin. Margot, you are a combatant. You hurt so bad. But as you begin to, as you try to like move, I'm going to give you half speed for the natural 1, and your prosthetic limb, you drop it as it essentially has heat metal cast on it. As it's in your hand, it burns your fingers, and you have to like pry them off and like try to like open your hand. It's like a little bit like that feeling of like you lick your finger, then like touch an ice cube, you have to peel it off. It's that feeling on your own prosthetic limb, and you drop it as it like also like sears your stump. So that's what I'll do for this one. So that's something I've been thinking of for a while now, on like the natural 1s for saving throws. How does everybody feel about that?
As a character with 69 HP, 62 HP would have taken out basically all of my HP. So yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Go ahead.
I'd agree, but also throw in sometimes effects that happen to people can be worse than damage, or rather, like you go down, well, that sucks, you're out. But if you roll a natural 1 in your saving throw, and then the metal is heated and you have to drop your weapons, that can sometimes be equally as bad as if you were to add the additional damage, or as one of those things where it's like the blast is so powerful you're shot 15 feet backwards in addition, even though it wouldn't normally do that. Sometimes stuff like that adds for a little bit more flavor than just additional damage. So I would say, like, or recommend finding a mixture between doing that and doing additional damage, or doing additional damage.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, that's the route that I'm thinking, is like giving you conditions that are pretty nasty. Like you just in Margot, you take 5 additional points of fire damage from the burning of your prosthetic.
Not looking good, guys.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, guys.
So that was Fat Man's turn. Okay, this guy. Okay, this guy is going to take. This guy's going to take 10 points of fire damage inside of the belly of the. This is the guy that got grabbed and like put in first. He takes 5 damage or 10 damage, and you see a little bit of that. Some of the cracks in like the lightning bolt cracks from like the Tophet's skin begin to seal up as it begins to consume the life force from this dude. Half of the damage from the guy inside of his belly goes out. So now this guy, he gets to go and make a strength check. And this is a okay, and he's going to succeed. He manages to like rip himself out of the body and like fall back onto the floor. He's no longer restrained, but the process of like touching the metal itself, he gets burnt by a little bit more, and this does not heal the Tophet for 10 more points of damage. This guy like falls out and is like spasming on the ground, like just like shaking from burns. And he's going to use the rest of his turn to stand up. And that was his action, and that's about it. Okay. Okay, this guy. He's going to move forward. Sorry, nope, I changed my mind. He's going this way. And he sees the group of people over here, including like Hasport. And he's going to summon he's going to use his fire ability over there. Oh. Apparently I still had Margot targeted, sorry.
Stop trying to kill me.
It's my job. Okay, come back. Alright, Margot, you saved, so did it actually damage you?
No, I still have my 19 remaining hit points.
Okay, sounds good. So yeah, there's fire happening over there. Okay, the counselor, Thornvale, she steps down, and you see her like spread her hands wide, and like a healing aura begins to like emit out from her, and she's like rapid casting mass cure wounds, or mass healing word on the group. And she's specifically targeting like those that have recently fallen or like are looking really bad, including Gouillard. And so she's on like full support duty as like the healer and the support person. Many of the other like council members, the Drakewood, he is not much of a combatant. Goldhammer begins to like run into the fray as well. Mio comes down, and he also begins to heal many of the individuals. And then I didn't really do anything with these guys. So Duroc comes up and he casts Wall of Force on like half of the room over here.
So the game is still paused for me. Is it for everyone
Yeah,
else?
it's paused.
There you go.
Did I take any healing from all the spells being cast?
No, you are not one of the ones that she is targeting, because there are, for every seat in the house is taken. So for any place that I don't have a token, there's a more generalized like aristocrat or noble or legal somebody. So they're targeting. There's like dozens of people that are like down on the ground. So you are not being prioritized at the moment. You have Scene doing the same thing. Essentially, like all three of the major healers and like the priests / priestesses, they're all going for like the heal mode. And Marcus, Mr. Heartthrob here, you see him like step forward and like drop off the ledge here, and before he hits the ground, it disappears. And you see him like pop up on the other side of the wall, like ready to go, like kind of like looking like very cloaky, and like his nice coat is no longer like greens and blacks. It's now like, or greens and browns. It's now like blacks and purples, and like his hair is like pulled back, and there's like a covering over his mouth as well. Looks like
You didn't have to make him more attractive.
His name is also Kaz. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm here
Okay.
for it.
All right. Awesome. I have Guyard in here, but I'm just gonna remove him from combat because we all know what he's gonna be like. He's gonna be running and screaming like a little boy. Okay. The Tophet, he's going for his new friend who is not doing too well, and he's going to use his slam ability on him. Yep, that'll hit. Okay, that'll kill him. And for his second attack, he's going to take him and chuck him into all of the guards that were around you guys. I'm going to say like all the guards, they've all spent their turn to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. They've all spent their time like running up here and like getting ready to engage the enemy. And so I'm going to use the slam attack again. I'll just do it this way since it's going to try to restrict me. I don't know why it did it that way. It should have been normal, so that should have been 21 to hit. So he's going to throw the body, and it's just going to knock over a couple of the guards. Okay, and that'll be his turn. At the... That'll be the top of the round. Let's go ahead and take a break. So, back into the top. The flames dart down and begin to just use their bodies to like scrape the wood and sides of the building. And they're essentially kind of creating like a low-key wall of fire as they begin to like swarm around the room. Fairly easy to tell that the intention here is to kind of entrap those who are in the middle. Margot, you are up next. Your speed is halved. You
Fucking forgot about
your speed is halved. You can't grab your stuff, or your arm is severed and still hot on the ground.
So in this pile of stuff, do I see my stuff anywhere?
Yes, like your dagger, your books, they're available.
Whereabouts in this? Because I can only get to like. I guess I could get there. If I move here, can I grab them?
Roll me a d6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Womp. They're in the farthest away spot.
I need my Soulwell vials so bad right now. Okay.
It was one of those times you were talking about, Noah, where like having speed is terrible. Like the effect is like way bad.
Yeah, it's funny. The worst things that can happen in D&D are not doing damage to your players, but instead incapacitating them in other ways, like having speed, removing weapons, limiting the areas that they can move or the areas that they can see.
Yeah.
Are very, very good mages.
Mm-hmm.
Or take a rage away from a barbarian.
I'm gonna move forward.
It be what it be.
And
the stoic acceptance from Lily.
It's for the story. It's for the plot.
Hey, what else you got, Margot?
I'm gonna cast protection from energy on myself and pick fire resistance.
Nice. Okay. Dro.
So
roll a d6, and I'll say your stuff is all like together, Dro, so you don't have to like run around to like each one. You got 1, 4, 5. Your stuff is here.
the shackles don't prevent me from using magical items, correct?
Yes, they do, because magic items are like a relationship between you and the item, because you have to be, even with like something as simple as like an unattuned magic missile, wand magic missile, you have to conduct the magic through the item in order to be able to make it work. And the shackles give you a full stop.
I need these off then.
I was hoping to get to my vial to cast a spell on you, but I didn't.
I have my sword, right?
Your sword is 10 feet from you.
I don't even know if it's possible to get them off with the sword. I'm just gonna turn to Bloodthorn and I need these off.
And once again, she's a step ahead of you. She's got keys in her hand as she's coming towards you. And
Oh boy. Okay. Can I, with seeing that, hold on. I gotta.
you can like hold your action or hold your movement or something until after she gets them off you.
Wanted to hold an action the moment they drop off Dro.
Okay.
How much movement is that gonna give her? Doesn't matter, you can't attack on its turn. Yeah, okay. I'm going to pick up my sword and then the bowl. And I'm going to summon the water elemental the moment those shackles get off Dro's wrist. And I am going
understood.
to cast it like here. It can go 90 from where I am.
Okay, sounds good.
But she has to get the
Alright.
shackles off first. But I guess I'll spend key points to also do patient defense as a bonus action.
Okay, understood. She comes up, she unshackles you. She's going to move. Oh, Margot already has hers off. And so she's going to move. Let me see the rest of her speed. Actually, she's gonna leave them. She's gonna stay where she is, and she's going to catch. She throws them to Yaslin.
Are you serious? Oh my god.
Give me a dex check.
This is gonna be embarrassing.
It's gonna smack her square in the face.
Got it! Ow!
Okay.
Oh, I got
Shoot!
Yeah. Still got it.
Yaslin, you have yours. So that's going to be her action and item interaction. Oh god, I don't know how to do actions. There we go. You're going to see that whip come down. She's going to start swaying. She starts she uses her bonus action to begin doing this dance that kind of almost cocoons her. She's going to use her blade song ability.
Fucking wizard.
And that'll be her turn.
Nice.
Okay. The goat. He's looking up here. Oh, Dro, you cast the water
yeah.
elemental.
And can drop it down. I already forgot where it went. Thank you.
Yep. So I think we said there's no summoning sickness on these things. So 16 points. 14. Yep, there you go. Okay. The shackles fall off. You cast the bowl. It's got this watery energy sloshing about in the bowl, and then it just goes dry, and that slosh appears on the stairs instead.
Is it its turn then?
Yes. Yeah, it's your elemental's turn. Well, yes, we'll just do it that way because reasons.
Just kind of smack. I'm telling him to free Randar.
Okay, gotcha. He can make a strength check to try to pull Randar out of the oven.
Strength's better than mine. He said check.
Check. Yep, strength check. Woo! All over the place on that one. Okay, not enough, and it is going to take 4 fire damage reduced down to 2 because it is within 10 feet of Randar's fire resistance aura.
Totally remember
Well, actually,
that.
it's not an aura. It's absorb elements. So if you want, you can make it use its reaction to have the damage, and then it stores 1d6 of fire damage for its next attack.
So it's gonna attack with fire damage against a fire creature.
Yep. So you can use the reaction.
I'll
to
just
reduce
do
the
it to
damage,
reduce the damage. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, it takes two points of damage instead of 4. It's got this. You can use its.
Oh, that's not what I want.
You can use it, but you can use its second action to attempt again.
Oh yeah,
Or
I
it's
forgot
a
this
second
has
attack.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I swear to God, it's the one.
Yep. Okay. Randar is pulled out. He is no longer being restrained. That's going to be 5 points of fire damage to the Ripple Elemental.
Is that reduced already?
It is not because it's.
Oh, I can only do it once.
It
Never
already
mind.
used its reaction.
Uh,
Okay, so out of the fire into the elemental, like kind of dousing him, cooling him off a little bit, and then like it'll like eject him to the side. It's not trying to like do the like overwhelm ability that the elemental has.
That'd be a sight to see. It pulled out in the one elemental into another.
Right. Okay, so that's his turn. He's like, oh, that's nice. The goat is going to look around and see, who did I say got cursed by the goat?
Yes.
Yaslin is
Yaslin.
cursed. Who else? I
A
said
bunch of people in the crowd.
a bunch of randos. None of the like wealthy like higher ups. A bunch of the guards. Did I say any of the merchants over here, or any of the people over here?
I think you just said there were. With my true sight, I saw a bunch of tendrils going off to people, but you didn't specify.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna roll.
Wow.
Jeez.
Rolled a 100.
Yeah, 100.
Holy shit.
Wow. Yeah, I mean that kind of makes sense because that was for this guy. 100%. There's no way that he was cursed. But so I'll give it to the kind of like the lowest 2. Okay. Oh. He's gonna look down at Fry, who's one of the people that got who got cursed. And he's going to say, you should really protect yourself and those around you. You know yourself for that, right? And above table thought. Somebody who's about to be affected by some sort of enchantment or like a charm, were they able to counterspell that charm when it's affecting their own mind?
If it's a spell, they should be able to. But if it's not a spell, then
I think the only caveat would be like if he did that when none of us knew he was even there.
Yeah, like they didn't.
if they're
recognize it was
completely
happening.
invisible.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So he's going to say that to her. She's going to counterspell. She's going to counterspell the suggestion, and then he's going to counterspell her counterspell. It's going to be this weird ripple throughout the room. I'm going to roll. No. I was rolling to see if Galax would have used his counterspell. And no. Like, so he predicts it coming and like counters her counterspell. And you see, and like her head kind of twitches. And she's going to use I believe the and she's going to glaze over and she's going to pull out one of her scrolls and cast Force Cage on herself and the people around her.
Hmm.
Oh, sorry. She has, there is a saving throw associated with suggestion. Let's actually do that.
And she can't take any reaction or any action that would result in her harm.
Yeah, it's not harm. It's like a, you know, as long as it sounds like a reasonable course, like, hey, yeah, put up a protective barrier when you're being attacked, it flies. I'm going to give her one more roll because she is at disadvantage to his spells and influences and stuff. And the first one was natural 4, so it is not good enough. So she pops up Force Cage, which is a 20 meter barrier. She basically like magically and physically isolates her and everybody inside of that. And the guy kind of, good, smart girl. Just gonna walk over here a little bit. Look over at just gonna look down at the big orc guy. He's got like some golden like sash, like or some like some sash kind of like running across his body that's like linted with like stones. It looks like a magic item, like a cloak of protection or something. And he's going to say, you don't need to protect him anymore. He's going to twist his hand and the gems are going to crack and kind of explode on him a little bit as he uses his Betrayal of Riches ability.
What?
And that'll hit this guy. I'm gonna... Oh shit, that hits him kind of hard. For 12 points of damage, and his melee damage is as it like fucks with like the musculature, and it's like another little bit of a curse type of energy like sinks into him.
Is that a save he has to make?
Yep.
It's a
I
bonus
forgot about
action?
that part.
Jesus.
That's a bonus action.
Insane.
Yep.
That's about right.
Bro does.
What is with these saves?
Yeah, big boy. He's hired for his big boyness, not his smart of mindsness. Okay. Next up is Randar. You see him flight around to the back here and start going to town. You see him use like a couple of legendary actions, like right in a row, to like extend the number of punches he gets. Just like, similar to how he wailed on you guys.
I was gonna say we know that way too well.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. So he's gonna do some serious work on this guy and like drop him by about half health in that one go.
Slight PTSD for the rest of us.
Mm-hmm. Again.
Just out of curiosity, when he hit him, was it all at advantage since my water elemental's there?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Like I just dropped his health by like 45 points. Like in one go.
You got our ass beat.
Yeah, Randar's turning into a jackhammer on this one dude. And you from down the hall, even though there's like a chorus of battle, there's like clangs and clashes and like things are crazy and loud and hot. Actually, the room does feel like it's getting a little bit hotter.
We all have fire resistance.
You all have fire resistance?
No, I said I hope you all have
I
fire
do.
resistance.
Oh yeah.
Hey, maybe that was smart for the water elemental.
I don't know how big this map is, so. Oh, sure.
What's a tall lady over here? Oh my god.
You see the air in the room begins to twist and undulate like the heat of a barrage a little bit. You see the. Oh, that's right. I didn't get swiftly into an action yet. She has at this point like teleported herself over here and is doing damage over here on this guy and like gets this guy like ripped out. She uses telekinesis to yank him out. And then she also like this, and she starts doing battle with this guy, and they're just like going back and forth and whatnot. So she is in the fray as well. Just forgot to add her into stuff. From down the hall, even though there's so much going on, you start to hear click, 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 click. And you see the smoke, what's left up at the top, begins to disperse and swirl and fade as like a force of clean air walks forward. And appears at the top of the stairs. A golden, dragon-like humanoid, dressed in black and gold wizard robes. Looks out and sees everything happening. Bloom, I believe it's best time we go. Come. And just begins to walk back out. This guy over here, just gonna skip. He's still fighting with Randar and Ripple. Dro, give me a d20.
No. Wait.
Oh boy. I got another crit. Sheesh. He picks up Randar and he's gonna like shove him back in. This guy's
It's gonna be fucking
crit
tug of
happy.
war.
Yeah, he's crit happy on Randar, so Randar gets a little bit more damage. But he's going to use his reaction to halve the damage from the crits. He's only going down for 25. Big Swole, like, they start talking to Fry, and like none of them can get out of there. They can't teleport out. They can't, Big Swole's over there, like hitting the cage with his fist, like, Petrie's like sitting on the desk, like has like one like tiny wing, like is like drinking a potion that Swole gave her, and like is healing up a little bit. Okay, this guy's just trying to go to town on Lady Seraphine, and is frankly getting his ass kicked hard. And like through the battle that's going on between them, like she keeps like repeatedly like shoving it into the wall, like over and over, just like it's like deepening like the cracks into the wall over and over and over. And it really can't do much against her. The fire dancers, these little fiery skulls, they're continuing their process of going about as well. Warden.
Hi.
All right. Bonus action. Tell Tailwind to go ahead and bash through the window. And then my action, I will go ahead and cast Pass Without a Trace. I will be casting this on the Drakewoods and Yaslin and myself, as these are the only people within 30 feet of me. This
You also have a bunch of civilians around you, but like the people who have icons are the most important, but the room is full.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I don't think Pass Without a Trace has a duration, or it has a duration. I don't think it has a limit to who I can cast it on, so long as they're within 30 feet. Like, I'm going to cast it on literally everything within 30 feet of me, with the exception of Tailwind.
And the fire creatures, right?
Oh, well, yeah. Naturally,
Okay.
anything.
Enemy, be stealthy!
Good luck! So the goal here is, let me just go ahead and click it, cast spell. That takes away a nice spell slot. Goal here is basically, give everyone a ridiculous amount of stealth to be able to jump out the window sneakily.
Okay, nice. Warden, so you spend your turn like shepherding people out. Let me see here. 30 feet of you, so that doesn't apply to the force cage.
Nope. Yeah, I would have liked to have
Okay.
saved those people, but they can get fucked, so.
I got it.
I was like, you know what, I changed my mind. The little tiny people that I could pick up and throw out the window, they're just gonna get crushed.
Yeah. Okay,
Plus
so about this many people, out of like the 10 seats that are there, 8 of them are conscious, 6 of them are civilians, 2 of them are bodyguards for the Drakewoods, and the 6 people that are conscious are able to like kind of get up and like start moving out. It's probably about 3 turns worth before they all start to get out that window. But it's like each of those turns, you'll get about a third of them through that. That was awesome. Go ahead and take inspiration for being secret security this round.
Yeah, I don't have any guns, so my thought here is I can either throw magic pebbles, which do like 1d6 damage or 1d4, or try and save as many people as possible. And Warden is a good guy, so
I don't think we ever took away your guns. Did we?
So I just kind of assumed that walking into a courtroom, I would not be allowed to have guns.
You were escorted and let through, and like they were confident in the number of like guards that they had, and like a bunch of other people had their like they've got the council and like dozens of guards and like some powerful families in the room, so like they weren't that concerned about it.
Oh, well, next turn someone's gonna get a bullet through their forehead,
Woo-hoo.
unless he makes it outside.
Okay, got it. This guy over here, he's not doing it okay. He's just kind of quivering and like trying to function. This guy over here, he's gonna still go forward and he starts fighting. Over here, he looks like he's got like a very long sword with like a hook on the back side, and he starts going to town. He looks like a very skilled fighter, but every time he goes and like slashes this thing, it's not strong.
Does Dro
Yeah, so
does Dro know who
What's
that
up?
is by chance?
Give me a quick history.
Wow.
By reputation, yeah.
Oh, lovely. Okay.
Yeah, Lucius Blackmoon,
Mhm.
the family's primary enforcer and wet worker. Not a stealthy wet worker, but like everything. It's one of those ones where it's like, no, he's just the bouncer for the club. Like it's a legitimate business, but like they can't ever pin anything on him, sort of deal. And he's not stealthy about his wet work. He just goes in, does it, and leaves. Okay. Hassport is going to start gathering people up, and he's doing something similar that like Warden is, and like as they jump out, he's using gust of wind and featherfall at the same time to like push them off this small balcony that exists and float them further down into like the crevice beyond like the little peak that this courtroom is on. So he's got about the same set going on of like 3 rounds, and then all of his people will be out. What's Eve doing?
Can she cast a healing word?
Yep, she can help heal and move people and help bugger people out.
Can she cast a healing word on my character?
Yes, and I think that would probably be appropriate too, seeing as like they know each other and like they're kind of friends. Yeah, go ahead.
Let's 5th level, because she's also helping to get people out, but she's going to heal.
Yeah.
From 19.
Nice.
That's good. I was at 19 HP, so let's just double that. And then, so that's a bonus action. She's going to... action. She's just gonna use her action to also help filter people out of the room.
Okay, sounds good. This guy going to town on Lucius. Let's see, yeah, he's gonna do rollies here real quick, just to.
Wow.
Okay. Yep. And as he's going, Lucius does get grabbed, and then one more round of it. Oh, the dice are not kind. Lucius is in the belly. And like he's been burned, he got hit pretty hard by the explosion. And he got hit by the curse in more than one way, and he's not doing very good. Like he's going down quickly. Okay, Yaslin, you're up. Your stuff's over here. You've got keys on your pinky.
Ooh. Does it take? Was it gonna like take my action to unlock my cuffs?
I'll give you it for an item interaction.
Okay, I'll do that. I'm just rub my wrist. That sucks. And now I see all these items splayed all over the ground. Do I see mine?
Give me a d6.
That's 5.
Okay, Dro's basically standing up.
Can I walk through these?
Yeah.
I just... like, I don't know, use my action or whatever to pick it up, I guess.
Yeah, you'll have to use your action to like retrieve the item.
I'll use my action to grab what I want to grab is my sword.
Okay.
Like, so this feels better. We're gonna kick some ass, guys. That'll be my turn.
You've still got some movement left.
No, I don't because I'm exhausted, so I'm at half.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's why
Yeah,
Yaslin in this fight is like big oofs.
Yeah, you've got your bonus action.
I do. I mean, I guess I'll try to rage.
Okay, give me a gun check.
We'll see how.
I'd say.
It's a 14.
I was gonna say a 15 is UTC.
Yeah.
So like you're not there. You're a lot better than last time. Like it's like, come on. Not quite yet.
It's like trying to rev an engine. Not quite
Yeah,
there.
absolutely. Oh, I forgot. Galax has a turn, but he's just gonna bam.
I was gonna say, just
Run
leave.
like little
Just
bitch.
Yeah,
leave.
he just disappears.
Leave before I kill you.
Okay, next up, this guy, does he have his ability up? Ooh, there it is. These guys actually do have stats and stuff. A lot of this I didn't do with, oh, sorry, so I'm going to do, go back here, go to phone. Oh, it has not. Stop telling. Oh, it's because. Sorry. Messing with things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Those guards are about to get fucked up.
Yep.
They really, really are.
God damn.
Please.
Bye, guys.
Oh wow, that's a good success though. Somebody quit.
Oh my goodness.
You know what's also a little concerning? The worse these guys are badly injured. These guys were chasing us through the city.
This is wild.
Okay, yep. Nope, prone does not give you disadvantage on saving throws. So yeah, bunch of them fail. Nope, that's a dirty 20, no natural. Oh, one of them got a natural 20.
Wait, really?
Okay, which guy was that? Which one? Why won't it tell me? Okay. I'm gonna say it's this guy up front.
I was gonna say.
Oh, it's this guy?
When I hover
Okay.
over the natural 20, it highlights him.
Okay, I'm gonna say he dashes forward, like he ducks in the right direction. He's gonna get like a good attack. So yeah, but mostly those guys get like swamp crushed, like firewise. Just lots of them get roasted. The hero of the bunch, like they start to do battle here, and it's gonna be like this guy's slowly going to get surrounded. These guys stop moving. Prone. And they start moving forward. All of them like trying to get in and go on the fight. This one over here, he's gonna move over here. He's gonna grab one of these like braziers. He's gonna chuck it over at Counselor Marcus. Counselor Marcus and Counselor Marcus is gonna like shadowy dodge out of the way and like get up and like start coming up and like slicing all along this thing. And the two of them get in there. Iona, she is still moving forward, healing and like getting everybody up off the ground that was knocked out by the explosion or any of the fireballs. She's still just repeatedly healing and protecting people. And this last guy, he is going to move forward, and his target is he comes over and he like starts throwing fire and dealing with Durok. So Abiadala and Durok and like get themselves popped over and like sitting on opposite sides of each other and like multicasting and like just taking this guy down. Like I'm gonna do 20s for all of them. Okay. Abiadala's not having a great time, or she's not able to do very much. She takes a wound. It's not a terrible one. Durok, he's doing all right. Together they're starting to like wield this guy down. They're both very high level sorcerer or magic wielders, and they'll make quick work of this guy, but it's not going to be enough to avoid all of the things. Okay, the top little fire guys, they continue, and actually they go and they are interested in Tailwind. Okay, they're going to come in and they're going to make 2 singed attacks against him. What's his armor class for Tailwind?
14 plus proficiency bonus.
Okay, survey says proficiency is what now?
Uses my proficiency bonus. Okay.
Yes. So
My
it should be
proficiency
18,
bonus.
which is still 3.
I think it's 3. Oh,
Okay.
plus 4. So it is 18 AC.
Okay, cool. And what's his HP?
That is 5 times, or 5 plus 5. Oh god, that's worded so weirdly. 5 plus 5 times your ranger level. Drake has a
Oh,
number
it's
of hit
5
dice.
as a flat times 5 times plus 5 times your ranger level.
Yeah,
Well,
so
yeah,
what are we? Level 10? Level 9?
level 10, so it'd be
55.
55.
Yeah.
Okay, 55. Got it. Got some base stats for Tailwind.
Huzzah.
Okay, he's going to come in and he's the only. So he's going to come in for a couple of singed attacks on Tailwind. That would be 16 to hit.
Does not hit.
Does not hit. And the second attack.
That hits.
That would be 19 to hit. I'm going to roll it this way because I expect it would suck on the formula. So Tailwind is going to take 19 points of fire damage. As like these swirling blue flames are like just running all over him. Okay, and the first time that enters the creature's space on a turn, that creature takes fire damage until a creature uses an action to douse fire damage at the start of the turn. So as this is happening, the metal begins, like more and more of the metal kind of like heats up and melts off. There's nothing actually that's able to catch fire. So I'm going to say Tailwind is not going to take like a damage over time effect like these guys have, because there's nothing that can actually catch fire. It's just air and theoretical metal. Okay, Margot, you are up.
So picking up an item is an object interaction.
Yes.
Okay. Move up. I want to grab my soul well and the spell scroll belt, like my spell scroll belt.
Okay.
And-
Yep. It's quick to do that. I'll say speed
I'm
wise.
kept it both just in my hand.
Oh yeah, if you're not actually like trying to put them on, they're both in your hand. The item interaction.
And then because I have my soul well with me, wither and bloom on myself, so I can roll a d8 to regain a hit point, and I also regain 5 sorcery points.
Okay. But Wither and Bloom can also affect others in the area because it's an AoE.
But it's creatures I pick.
Okay. So you're not giving Dro or Yaslin.
No, you can only
A
give
heal.
one creature the heal.
Oh, got it. Okay. Right. And there's no enemies around, so that would make sense. Got it.
Mm-hmm, yeah. And I'm trying to, and I have to roll hit dice to use my to regain those sorcery points. So I regain 5 sorcery points and 6 HP. So that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
That was my action, object interaction, and move. So was my movement still decreased? How long is that lasting from that natural one?
It's back to normal.
Okay, so that was 10 feet. Are we running or fighting?
Dro's standing looking like he's gonna fight.
Okay, well, that's grand. What does this do? I'm going to quicken spell. Your movement's only what, 15 right now, Yaslin?
20.
It's 20.
20.
She's
Well, let's
more-
quicken spell
Yeah.
long strider, and your speed is now 30.
I'm walking slower than normal, but faster than I am now.
I mean, we tried. So that was 10 feet, and I'm gonna back the fuck up again. Since.
Oh my gosh, that means I can zoom.
Yeah, that's
now?
20. That's 30 total.
I don't know if I want to.
No, actually, I don't want to move back. I want to stay. I'm gonna move over. Like here. Just in case. I want to spread out in case they hit us with the. Because they have those AoE spells, or those AoE fire turrets. So I just want to spread us out a bit. Okay. Fun. I think that's 5, 10. Okay. Over here. There we go. That's it. That's everything I can do.
Okay, got it. Row.
I like the advice of spreading out. I'm gonna go here. Oh wait, no, I'm not. Hold on. Fuck. Yeah, I'll have to go there. "30 feet there. When I walk past Yaslin, I'm casting a Shield of Faith on her because I already know what she's about to do. So you get a +2 to your AC. And then I'm gonna turn and look up at the flaming skull that's fighting this now wind metal creature I've never seen, and I'm casting Create Water on top of it to douse a 30-foot cube of fire.
Okay. Blah 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 blah.
Also make a point, since Stro hasn't used Shield of Faith on Yaslin in quite a while. The first time he's done it, he was very protective of her. He has all faith in her when he casts that. And he actually turns his attention to helping those over here.
That's.
Got it. Dro. 30-foot cube. Is there any gallon detail on how much that drops inside of a spell?
It just says rainfall.
Okay, rainfall. It's 6 seconds. Okay.
Wow.
These things do have it's not an ability, it's a vulnerability. Called water susceptibility. For every gallon of water splashed on it, it takes 1 cold damage.
If it helps, I can create 10 gallons in an open container, or I could destroy 10 gallons.
Okay,
Dropping
so
10 gallons
that's
sounds crazy.
so 10 gallons spread out over a 20-foot cube.
30.
30-foot cube. That's fairly diluted. I'll just say roll 2d10 of damage.
You said 2?
Yeah, 2d10. Okay. Takes 12 points of cold damage. And this area is put out of fire. It douses everything. And and Warden, since it's your spell, you can see what's happening. All of a sudden, you can see like outlines of people in the ring, but nobody else can. Just for fun.
So this is a question that I'm pretty sure I know the answer to, but does that count as a weapon attack?
Which parts?
Shooting water on the thingy.
No.
Okay.
Alright. Dro, anything else for you?
Movement, bonus action. Are the Drake Words actually still right here?
No, they've... Oh, the Drake Woods?
Yeah.
No, they're some of the ones that were were protected pretty well. They're moving. And I'd say like Cedric is pretty much with them.
Dro's making it a point to put himself between them and the creatures. So maybe he'll move. There. And he's just gonna turn, and if they look back, he's going to tell them run.
Okay, gotcha.
And then he's gonna turn and face this chaos.
Okay. You've got the bard who is still going out doing supportings and healing, because not all the civilians are up off their feet yet. You know, at max, the 3 healers combined can heal 18 people, and it's only round 2, and many of them are severely injured. So he's continuing. I'm gonna say Gold Hammer by now is like run up here and is gonna like come up and like use his hammer and like slam the skulls in. It's like as he swings it, it's like the hammer also has like thunder wave on it, and it's like smacks many of them in the wall and cracking, and like the glass shatters out even more, and he's up there and he's fighting with Tailwind.
For every attack that he makes, deals and infuses his weapon attack with lightning and deals an extra 1d6 of lightning.
Nice.
That's the beauty of the Drake.
I thought I was about to
Depending
get attacked for a minute when you were saying that, and I was like, oh, fuck.
The
Well,
Drake
I
has
was
to
hoping that-
expend its reaction for that.
Yes.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So with that in mind and some early math, yeah, he comes up and he's able to do like a solid like bit of damage to it. He cracks about like half the skulls and they fall away. And since it's this one monster, it becomes a little less powerful at that point. Ripple Elemental.
Tug of war.
Give me a strength check.
Why am I struck? There it is.
No, go. Give me one more.
Give me
No
one
joy.
more, you ass.
Okay. No, Randor stays in. Commander Bloodthorn is going to walk forward. With her blade song, and she's gonna wrap this guy up. And there's inventory. Oh, what? No, that's not true. No. Okay. Let's go a little bit closer. But her whip lashes out from like a long 20 feet away and goes and starts slapping him around. She is going to go for advantage here.
Wow.
Ooh, both of them are pretty lame. She's gonna go for like her second go. A little bit better. And then the Toffet's like kind of reactions to her. She was pretty bad, but it still did worse. So she like wraps it up and like yanks it down, and like it like falls to its face, and she kind of impossibly so she begins like pulling on the lash, and it just like drags the thing face first through the chairs and through the tables, and it like it's drawing nearer and nearer and nearer to her. And there's a bit of damage there. And it's like on the ground and thrown and grappled. Okay. Bloom. It's going to look out over at everybody. just kind of sigh and, ah, well, I was having fun. But I suppose the next stage of this event is about to begin. Farewell. And he's going to blink out of there. Margot, what's your range?
I'm looking at it right now. I don't think
I believe counterspell
have
is
range.
60 feet.
That's what I thought.
It is, but I'm trying to see if I have heightened or extended spell. I don't think I have
Yeah,
extended spell.
distance spell.
Mm-mm.
Dang.
Cooking, careful, transmuted, twinned. Nope. I don't have distance spell. Fuck.
Yep. And there's a series of like attempted counter spells that go out between. Really, it's just because the force cage prevents like spells from getting out of it and fucking with stuff. But between Lady Seraphine, the dragon guy, and Bloom, like the series of counter spells, and from your perspective, you can see like these magical enemies just like going out and just like kind of intercepting each other and like clashing, and like it's almost like different colored sparks and textures of magic. But there's enough counter spells going on that like, and then pop, the two of them like do manage to like disappear and get outside. Anybody who wants to try to figure out what's happening, give me an investigation check.
Sure, why
Is it
not?
magical in nature? Could I do an Arcana check with my true sight?
Sure. Yeah. Margot, to your senses, like, it's like they're not just fireworks. It's almost more like flashbangs that you're witnessing. It's a little bit more headache, I'm saying, for you. But yeah, like white. But these two to like show up and cause this disruption and bounce.
This was a distraction for something bigger.
My forge is still loading. What? Anybody got investigation checks for me?
14.
7.
12.
Yaslin coming in with a
Yaslin,
clutch, like dirty 20s.
I rolled an 8. I don't think we can rely on Yaslin right now. She's a little broken in multiple ways.
Yep. Okay. But they both vanish, and the fight continues in here. Dro. With a 14, give me an insight matching with that.
Damn.
This is like your, in your new role, this is your fated enemy, the opposing side. And yet you still don't know much about them. You don't understand them very well. You've actually interacted with them incredibly little, despite your two factions being diametrically opposed. You don't know how to read them terribly well, but there's some pieces that are. There's some pieces that are. Why would they be in this program? Why would They target you. Why would they suddenly flee? Why are they trying to create this fiery barrier? Did I drop for a sec?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Why are they trying to surround the room in this fiery barrier? And as you see them leave, one and two, you're left wondering what the pieces in play are and why did they start like this. And as my music pushing, that's what I remember.